I'm Tony Zambito, one of Genesee Community College's founding trustees. I'm standing in the lobby of the beautiful Stuart Steiner Theater. Completion of the theater represents an important step in the fulfillment of a dream that began in 1962. In 1962, the Batavia area JCs undertook as a project the establishment of a community college in Genesee County. When the supervisors were approached by the JCs to sponsor the college, they rejected the idea, referring to a study they had done which indicated to them that enrollment at a college in Genesee County would never exceed 75. But the JCs were determined. They then requested that a study committee be formed to study the question further. While the supervisors didn't feel that further study was necessary, they approved the idea because they felt that politically it'd be unwise to oppose a study. The study committee came back with findings that a community college was needed in Genesee County, that it was wanted, and that the county could pay for it. And their study indicated that enrollment of 600 students could be expected within 5 years. The supervisors scoffed at the 600 figure, but they still refused to approve the college, but instead elected to let the citizens of the county decide on the issue in a referendum vote. Well, the JCs really went to work then. They felt that they needed to expand their base if they were going to get approval for the college. They got prominent citizens to come out publicly in favor of the college. They had floats and parades and information meetings all over the county. At the same time, the opponents of the college were also very active with their own speakers, their own ads, their own literature. As the date of the referendum vote approached, the battle intensified, and on the night before the vote was to be taken, a full-page ad came out in the local newspaper opposing the college, urging the citizens to vote no, and gave reasons for it. At this stage, it was almost impossible to walk down the street without having someone approach you on the issue of the college. And finally, the vote was taken on an issue that probably was the most widely discussed and most widely debated issue in the history of the county. The supervisors were stunned when the results came in, and the citizens of Genesee County favored the college by a margin of over 1,400 votes. I was surprised and really thrilled to be named one of the 5 trustees that were appointed by the County Board of Supervisors. 4 more trustees were to be appointed by the governor. After my appointment, I received many letters and phone calls of congratulations. One of the calls was from a friend of mine who had worked very hard for the formation of the college and who had wished to be one of the members of the Board of Trustees. Instead, he was appointed to the County Planning Board. He congratulated me and then asked me if I wanted to trade positions with him. I'm glad that I didn't. Another call was from another individual who had worked very hard for the college and who also wanted to be on the college board. He congratulated me and then said he was really dismayed when he heard that I had been appointed. He explained that he had hoped to be a governor's appointment and felt that his chances of being one were no longer good because certainly they wouldn't appoint 2 people to the board who were of Italian extraction. As I approached the first meeting of the Board of Trustees, I was a little uneasy. I realized that I didn't have the faintest idea of how to go about starting a college. Then I decided I would just go there and look and act like a trustee. And then I realized that I didn't have the faintest idea of how to do that either. Next, we set out to do what's the most important duty of a Board of Trustees, to hire a president. We discussed some of the qualifications that we were looking for in a president. We wanted someone who had excellent managerial skills, one who had broad, successful experience as a community college president. We wanted someone who was very strong in his business education, strong academic background. We felt that the person that we hired should have excellent skills with people and excellent public relations skills. And we also felt that the person should be someone who was highly motivated, very dynamic, one with unlimited enthusiasm, and with great vision. We advertised for the position and received many applicants, and from those we selected 10 to interview. After interviewing the first 9, we were quite discouraged because none lived up to the modest expectations that we had for the position. Our 10th applicant was a young man who was president of a college, community college in Maryland. Well, within an hour during the interview with the board, we were all convinced that this was the man we wanted for our president. And Dr. Alfred O'Connell became the first president of the college. His first action was to ask the board to approve the hiring of a dean of students, who served in that capacity in his Maryland college, and that individual was Dr. Stuart Steiner. We didn't realize at the time what a momentous decision this was and what a great impact this appointment would have on the future success of the college. With the coming aboard of Dr. O'Connell, the pace quickened to about 5 notches above frenzy. There were so many things to do. We need to find a site for the college, and this was accomplished when the county legislature purchased the value discount store. We then had to hire architects and to design the renovation and contractors to complete the renovation. There were so many other things that we needed to do: hire faculty, develop programs, purchase equipment, develop policy for the college, and of course recruit students. We set as a goal for our first class 200 students, and we were very pleased when in March first 4 students enrolled at the college. The frantic pace of the first year culminated with the opening on schedule of the college in September of 1967. On the day of opening, it was pouring rain, but nothing could dampen the enthusiasm and the excitement as we watched the first students coming into the college. The students were welcomed in the college library. As we listened to the welcoming comments and watched the students who were sitting or kneeling on the floor because the furniture had not yet arrived, we had this strong feeling that this was a historic moment, that something big was taking place. When the final count was in, the initial enrollment was 378 full-time students and 263 part-time students. And it was apparent that within the next year, the campus, which had been designed for 600, was going to be overcrowded. We then, realizing that we were going to have to expand the facilities, we began a search for a full-time campus, permanent campus. We visited 35 sites before deciding on the current one, on the one that we're in now, which is almost the exact geographic and population center of the county. One of the visits that I remember was to the seminary in Leroy, St. Raymond Seminary. While it was obvious immediately that this site was not suitable, the committee wanted to go back a second time. The reason was that as we got ready to leave after the first visit, the priests invited us into their dining room, where a table was set with some of the most delicious goodies and that you'd ever want to see, and an assortment of beverages that would be the envy of any restaurant or bar in the community. After completing the plans for the college, it was necessary to have the county vote on a bond issue. There were a lot of people in the county who were opposed to this vote, and when the vote was taken by the legislature, it was a very dramatic moment. The chairman of the legislature, Bill Stewart, advised us that he was sure of 5 votes. He needed 6 for approval, 6 of the 9 supervisors. 3 were certain no's, and 1, that of Nicholas DiFilippo, was uncommitted. Nick would not tell how he was going to vote. But we talked to Nick and got the feeling, although he didn't really tell us so, that he would favor the college, and so the vote was taken. And as the names were called, it was coming out just as Chairman Stewart had predicted. 5 voted for the college, 3 voted against, and then it came time for Mr. DiFilippo's vote. When his name was called, he hesitated. We all held our breaths. He hesitated some more, and he finally stood and said yes. A roar went up from the proponents of the college and a groan from those who were opposed to it. The next momentous event was the groundbreaking. And at the groundbreaking, many of the county officials, our congressman was present, trustees, students, faculty. And as the first shovel of dirt was uncovered, we had this great expectation, this great anticipation to see the start of construction. We were unaware at that moment about some of the problems that we were going to be facing during the construction. The first of these was the discovery that the site contained much more rock than had been anticipated, and that the expense of excavation was going to be much more than we had counted on. This meant that we had to cut back on some of the plans that we had for the campus. Another setback was once the construction was started, the construction workers went on a 3-month strike, stopping all of the construction. This meant that there would be a delay in the opening of the college. When they came back to work, progress was going along, things were going along quite well, and then on a windy day, the roof blew off of the campus, causing another delay. But finally, the college was completed, and while it was 1 semester later than expected, and in that first semester of that year, there were 1,550 full-time students and 800 part-time students crowded into our small temporary site. About this time, it was about this time that Dr. O'Connell resigned to accept another position, and Dr. Cornelius Robbins became our second president. At the dedication and open house of the new campus, the Chancellor Ernie Boyer, called Genesee Community College a modern miracle. In 1975, Dr. Robbins left to become Deputy Chancellor for Community Colleges in New York State, and Dr. Stu Steiner was selected as the president. Under Dr. Steiner's leadership, the college experienced phenomenal growth. Off-campus sites were established, and we saw the college grow not only in the number of programs that were offered, but in the reputation of the college. I attended a trustee conference in San Francisco several years ago, and I was in a meeting with about 20 other people, and we began to introduce ourselves. We went around the room, and one person was from Miami-Dade Community College with about 60,000 enrollment. Another was from a college in Texas with over 50,000. There were several from colleges with 40 to 50,000. And then it came my turn, and I almost apologetically said, well, I was from a very small college in Batavia, New York, and I was amazed at the response, oh, you must be from